This is a book that can refresh one's worldview. Integrating multiple elements, striving to turn the world upside down. Attention, slight fear, enter with caution. Multi-CP+Women's and men's Dress+Multi Vest+Women Strong+Sick Jiao+Sand sculpture style. When Zhang Yuehe woke up, he unexpectedly traveled to the Mary Sue novel he had written. Not only did she become her meticulously portrayed, canon fodder male supporting character, but as she progressed to the end, the 7 novels she wrote automatically merged, and the hostility of her godly sons towards her was extremely strong. Whenever those little ones turn off the lights and hit her hard, Zhang Yuehe is almost laughing in anger. If it weren't for my dear old mother, who has so much talent from your place. Alright, let you little brats keep your eyes wide open and take a good look at what it means to be sick and spoiled. So the eldest son, Xiuxiu, was surprised to find that his dearest brother actually wanted to take care of him. His control freak suddenly felt a bit suffocated. After his second son Xu Xianzhi finished racing, he was forcibly kissed by his best friend. He blushed and said, "I can agree to everything you say, but can you give me a little bit of freedom to exercise?" After the third son Xue Xingyan finished his live broadcast, he was about to go to bed, but the next second he was choked by someone under the bed. He moved a little and got a slap in the face. The 7 sickly women in the original book are unforgivable, and in terms of emotions. The female protagonist is definitely not someone who disrupts good relationships, please rest assured. Princess and Prince, please see the detailed content. Chapter 1. Enemy Attack. Protect the Young Master. You are listening at novelfull.audio. On January 11, 2025, the global weather became increasingly extreme, but fortunately it snowed today. In a pale dimness, only the fireplace emitted a faint light. Hee. The woman wiped away the blood from her lips and sat on the floor dejectedly. She slowly threw the stack of papers and notebooks on the ground into the fire. The old paper filled with Chuanqiu font, she needed to take a glance before burning it, but her expression remained unchanged. The heavy snowfall outside the window is truly magnificent. The chimney above the cabin became the only color outside the chaotic world, lasting for a long time, and the early morning was still warm. When the warm sun shone directly on the window lattice on the first day, the people who had cleared the snow kindly went to greet them, only to find that the talented female writer had just died at home. With this in mind, there are many discussions. The scorching sun warms in March, and the pine caresses the white snow. Do not seek no dreams. The green mountains depict distant Dai. The young man in a grey robe had a loose figure, and he extended his delicate and fair palm to catch the willow catkins blowing from afar. A fresh new life. Gu Jing Wubua's eyes were both contemplative and desolate. Jun Huajin. Not far away, a tall man in a black cloak stood tall, his exquisite lower half face with a wicked smile. Do you still remember me? Jun Huajin, however, was not surprised. He put away his palm and turned around, looking at the man with fiery eyes. Hey Wu, you're still so afraid of sunlight. The man let out a cold snort from his nose, quite disdainful. Mother-in-law, even more delicate than me, a human demon. The next second, with a flip of the palm, a sharp curved sword appeared out of thin air. How to put it, I still quite like you as a person. A bit short-tempered, but not much. Right. Hey Wu licked his lips and then put down his smile, saying with a different meaning. But you're blocking my way. So. Damn it. The big knife flickering with cold light was thrown over, and a strong force swept up the dust on the ground. For a moment, yellow sand flew all over the sky, blocking most of the line of sight. However, Jun Huajin, who was the target, remained calm and focused on the pure white willow catkins outside the storm, his eyes becoming somewhat soft. He murmured in a voice full of attachment, like a naive child. Mother, in the center of the rolling yellow soil, a bright light appeared, and the curved blade launched an attack in the opposite direction, rushing rapidly towards his master. Jun Huajin stepped on the settled dust and walked slowly towards the fallen person. He glanced at his left arm, which was as flowing as a faucet. It was empty. He lifted Heiwu's hat and took off his mysterious mask. Eyes are red, those who bind their lives. Heaven does not give birth to fate. A group of people with extremely strong combat power and high loyalty, but at the same time, they have a tragic background and belong to the darkness. Something warm touched his shoulder, and of course Jun Huajin knew what it was. He was also waiting for that day. So he obediently closed his eyes, and the mark on his forehead emitted a faint white light. This is the last day. I will never live to be 18 years old. We see you again next time. Willow catkins drift towards the distance, free and unrestrained, never stopping their journey. The entire text is complete. After finishing the last chapter, Zhang Yuehe, who was half boiled to death, took a sip of coffee and glanced at the time. 2:27 in the middle of the night, quite early. Then he continued typing with his sandbag-sized black circles under his eyes. The last 2 chapters are out of class. After finishing, go to bed. It has to be said that sometimes people can really live. When she finished posting the extra code on the website and leaned back in her chair, turning her head to look out the window, she realized that the sky was turning white and the night was approaching. Is it already morning? But she hasn't slept yet. Zhang Yuehe pounced on the soft big bed, even forgetting to cover it due to exhaustion. She had a very interesting dream. In my dream, a self-proclaimed system approached her. Host, hello, my name is 1011. Would you be willing to be bound by me to follow your footsteps and achieve mutual success? This system is quite clever. Perhaps in a dream, or perhaps coding words made people dizzy, she saw a young man with red lips and white teeth in front of her, and her eyes lit up with a flash of light. Just like a desk lamp pulled up by someone at night, it flickers abnormally. That straightforward appearance was as if a hungry wolf had encountered a flesh bone. Sure enough, the people in my dreams are actually more beautiful than the people in reality, and even the system is vibrant. He. She took a quick step and held down the back of the system's head. He. 1011 is confused. Message prompt. System binding successful. The plot has been downloaded and redirected to the page. Please do not leave the system 100 meters away. No. The boy with super red cheeks wiped away the water stains on his lips and faced the vast white system space alone, feeling lost. Is this binding now? He's not acting in some fantasy drama, is he? 1011 seems to be in a dream. But robots don't dream. But Zhang Yuehe is indeed dreaming. The next day, far from the city center, the second floor of the He family's old house suddenly erupted with a mournful roar of zombies. Wow, ah, ah. After roaring for about 30 seconds but still unable to get up, Zhang Yuehe muttered to himself that he was really a charming little lazy pig, flipped over and went to sleep. In a dream, hey. It's you again. Zhang Yuehe pounced on 1011 in surprise. Young man with sweat on his face, Baotou rat fleeing. It's not me, it's not me. Host, believe me. Ah. This is really not a dream. Zhang Yuehe leaned behind him and gave a twisted smile upon hearing the words. He gently patted 1011's small face and lowered his voice, saying, I caught you and still don't admit it. Look at this stubborn little mouth, it's really tough. The system space is only 2 miles away. You run like a monkey, tell me how to hide. 1011 couldn't bear it anymore, his face wrinkled and he cursed profusely. Who understands? On the first day of binding a new host with a highly intelligent system, we painlessly transformed into humans. Grandson. Whimpering. Jia, even if you shout, break your throat, it won't work. Zhang Yuehe's move. The peng spreads its wings. Ah. This sound was like a cry for help, and also like a graceful oriole's call. Zhang Yuehe really likes it. Hee 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 1011 shouted while shedding tears of humiliation. On the other side, the nannies and bodyguards who heard the news downstairs were shocked. What's going on? It scared me to death. Shouldn't it be the young master singing? Xiuxiu is a man who is as cold as ice and possesses unparalleled beauty. Everyone in this world is their fan and pursuer. And of course, there is also the licking dog. However, since Zhang Yuehe appeared and visited with other sickly sons, this situation was instantly reversed. This is all for now, let's not mention it. Upon hearing this, another younger nanny couldn't believe it and said, "Young master, how long does he sing like this?" Guess what? A supermodel bodyguard rushed up to the second floor first, with a worried expression on his thick eyebrows and big eyes under his cold sunglasses. Upon learning that the young master was in danger, his heart fluctuated up and down, jumping like a drum, unable to calm down for a moment. Be sure to protect the young master. He held down the button on one side of his ear, with red eyes and a trembling roar. Enemy attack. Protect the young master. Chapter 2. Good baby, how did you wake up? You are listening at novel full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. What's the continuation of chapter 3? It's not a demon. You are listening at novel full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 4. My name is 1011, I will live and die with you. You are listening at novel full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 5. New characters appear, beautiful 6098-0. You are listening at novel full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 6. Extraordinary tasks. You are listening at novel full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 7. Stay at my cousin's house who is Jun Shao. You are listening at novel full.audio. In the quiet night, a gentle breeze brushes through the treetops, making a pleasant rustling sound. A pile of fire was burning in the spacious and shallow cave, and the demonic boy was playing with another beautiful child. The occasional flickering fire swayed the shadow of Xiuxiu from side to side. He carefully poked Zhang Yuehe's cheek with his hand, and then smiled like a loving mother, but his laughter was like a crazy criticism of all evil deeds. Ha ha ha. So cute, Xiaozhi's face is so soft. It's so interesting, isn't it? Speaking of which, why is Xiaozhi sleeping every day? Even at home, I often can't see his shadow, and on the way out, I have to forget about it. Fortunately, I had to take a knife and thought that the room was next to my miscellaneous room, so I accidentally opened Xiaozhi's door. At that time, it was simply too strange. Xiaozhi was particularly silly and cute when sleeping, with messy hair and a face as red as an apple. His hands and feet were also dishonestly arranged, and he was still emitting the fragrance of desserts. Brother liked it very much at first glance. Xiuxiu groped his chin and fell into a reminiscent self-talk. Who knew he was almost about to lick it, but fortunately the bodyguard rushed in and shouted, "This is what uncle told his younger brother, otherwise he would have eaten the little stick." But Xiaozhi is so cute and adorable, even his younger brother is very cute. Xiaozhi. Xiuxiu rubbed his face against the child's face with a smile in his voice. Can you let me eat it when you wake up? I willingly ate it. You're really fragrant and cute. Xiuxiu closed his eyes and couldn't help but put his fangs close to his slender neck. He only took one bite, so no one should blame him, right? Why continue? A deep voice is not his uncle, but who is it? Xiuxiu looked helplessly towards the sound source. Park Qingfeng walked slowly in, with broad shoulders and narrow waist, blonde hair and blue eyes, narrow glasses on his tall nose bridge, and eagle eyes carrying a strong sense of pressure. He was wearing his usual white clothes and gray pants, with a soft dark blue towel around his neck. Although it was an ordinary person's outfit, he stood out when he wore it, especially his waist, which was slender and powerful, making it a perfect clothes rack. Take your brother to He Jiao's house and don't show up if you have nothing to do. At this moment, Xiuxiu was holding his lovely younger brother. Upon hearing these words, he couldn't help but frown and ask, "What about the tools I have collected? We exploded together with your family." "Ah. By later, don't shout and shout," Park Ching-fong said calmly. Perhaps due to taking on too much responsibility, he always looks tired and doesn't have a good face towards people other than Xiuxiu, but of course, he doesn't condone Xiuxiu either. After all, the He family is always a continuation, and his uncle is just an insignificant guide. In a week, when you come to Jingcheng, my secretary will inform you of the specific location. Men's words cannot be rejected. Park Ching-fong was a child adopted by his father's brother abroad. His father and mother died when he was young, leaving little impression on him. For Xiuxiu, Park Ching-fong can also be considered half of his father. Moreover, Park Ching-fong is so excellent that he can certainly convince Xiuxiu. Now follow Jingshu to get on the car. He was accompanied by a young man with extremely low presence, who looked gentle and refined. Xiuxiu held his precious younger brother in his arms and followed his secretary's footsteps, gradually moving away. Even after a long distance, Park Ching-fong could still hear the sound of giggling and talking. "Your eyes are the same style as my housekeeper's glasses. If Uncle Lin hadn't gone abroad on business, I'm afraid you would have come to pick me up today. Sometimes I wonder if this world is a novel, or why all the butlers and secretaries wear glasses and look cold, ha ha ha. Young master, your imagination is so rich, just like my little furry child, you are curious about everything. Number 39. Li Jingshu couldn't help but chuckle a few times, and his gesture of blocking his mouth was very gentle. Xiuxiu, who has not had much contact with the younger generation since childhood, heard this and now decides to have good contact with Yiji, but now he is full of curiosity. "How old is your child?" "Just like the young master, he's 6 years old." "Ah. My younger brother looks like he was just born." After all, he only has the concept of a younger brother now. "Young master, the newborn child is much smaller than your younger brother, and he is completely bald and not cute at all." "Really? Do you have any photos? Can I take a look?" "You will see it when you grow up, young master. Although newborns may not look good, it's quite interesting to raise them with your partner." "Why do I have to grow up to see it? I just want to see it now." Well, haven't you studied biology, young master?" "I get a score of 100 every year. I only graduated from Mucheng last year, you can check it out. Now I am in the top university in the country, and I am still in the school draft." "Ah, okay, where is the young master studying?" "He should be illiterate. Maybe he hasn't read yet." "No, my younger brother is so far behind. This is indeed too slow, education is still necessary." "Okay. What kindergarten does your son attend?" "Haha, he's already a second-grade student, and now he won't be nagging about school being boring all day." "Wow, secretary, your son is a bit amazing." "Yes, he is smarter than me and his mother." "What's your son's name?" "I promised to surpass him in 2 years, oh no, 1 year." "Young master. I will be afraid if you say that. My son is called Wei Yixing and his mother's family name, so the school will not say it. After saying it outside the province, I will secretly cry out for fear of being hit by the young master." But his high school goal is the first in the country, and it should be the same with the young master's plan. Then they will meet there. Maybe we will meet at the parents' meeting. Good. Back then, Xiuxiu was only 12 years old when he entered high school, and then took the college entrance examination early. Now, at the age of 14, he is a college student. There are still 6 years left, and I must make my younger brother as powerful as me. The night is deep, and the lights of the car are gradually fading away. And in the cave, Park Ching-fong was panting heavily and casually reached into his icy body, blood splattering all over the ground. He looked at the heart of the fish in his hand, his eyes heavy. In front of him was a huge deformed species, all blue and purple, and the air was filled with the fishy smell of plants mixed with fresh blood. After a while, Park Ching-fong cleaned up the materials he needed, wiped away all the blood, and then went outside the cave to make a phone call. I am Park Ching-fong, located in the forest outside of Ganxiao City in Jincheng. Send a team of investigators and relocation teams. The sound on the other side of the phone was very chaotic. Park Ching-fong kept the phone away from his ear and waited for the noise to stop before getting close to his ear again. A child's voice sounded over there, seeming to carry a smile. We will send young Master Jun over. Chapter 8. He Jiao bakes small biscuits, girlfriend Zhou Xiuxiu. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The next morning, Zhang Yuehe opened his watery eyes. Zhang Yuehe and Xiuxiu met, and they were at an extremely close distance. Don't you understand the feeling of waking up with a beautiful man waiting? She wriggled her little body, slowly turning her back, and no one could disturb her beautiful dreams. Xiuxiu gently placed Zhang Yuehe's body in front of him, blinking his peach blossom eyes. In Zhang Yuehe's eyes, it was pure seduction. Host, the transaction I made with my original self was, always prioritize continuation, and respect my brother like I do. 1011 Speak in a timely manner. Respectful. To put it bluntly, doesn't it mean you like it? Number 1, does Xiaozhi still have something to explain? When trading, there is a video recording, and other things can only be entrusted to you after half of the task. Is this also what she ordered? Life and death are vast. Alright, isn't that just a beautiful woman? I'm here to respectfully. Host you. Xiaozhi has been sleeping for a long time, now it's time to play with her brother. Xiuxiu looked at her pitifully like a Shiba dog. How could he still look like the cool young master in the book? Zhang Yuehe doesn't feel right, is her eldest son OOC. But he still affectionately touched Xiuxiu's head, got up to put on his shoes, but didn't notice Xiuxiu's strange face behind him. He really likes his younger brother, but wouldn't touching his hair be too offensive? The president is not tall. But why does he really like it? That Zhongming couldn't come up with a solution and decided not to. He accompanied Zhang Yuehe to meet the owner of the house. He Jiao, who was preparing breakfast, was taken aback and looked up at the two with a smile. He was wearing home clothes and his gaze showed a love for the younger generation. Although he himself is only 16 or 7 years old and a bit shorter than Xiuxiu, he still has a virtuous temperament that is not competitive. How to say it? Can you describe him in one word? Gentle, or kind father. How did you wake up so quickly? The clock on the wall shows 7 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I have a biological clock, and Xiaozhi is strange. I slept from day to night yesterday and can't get up now. Xiuxiu touched Zhang Yuehe's hair and squinted his eyes comfortably. At this moment, what offends is not offended, and whether one grows tall or not is completely forgotten by him. You sit down first, and I'll bring you breakfast. He Jiao's voice is gentle and clear, perhaps due to his weak physique in his settings. His appearance is too gentle and his every move has a slightly girlish twist. But it's not something that can be imposed with the word Niangpo. Thinking back to a large group of fake fans in his past life who said that the appearance of He Jiao was just a rumor that the author added an extra same.sex CP to Xiuxiu, Zhang Yuehe became infuriated. A modern romance, do you have a crush on same.sex relationships? Besides, He Jiao is completely a straight man, okay? Is it not allowed in the world for a boy who loves cleanliness and has a shy personality to be heterosexual? But as soon as he thought about the ending of He Jiao, Zhang Yuehe felt a chill in the palace. It was too miserable. This is congee with sweet potatoes. It's sweet and very nutritious. Here, Jiao has already served 2 bowls of congee on a tray, and then said that he was learning to make desserts, so they can walk around after eating. Golden sweet potatoes paired with high-quality rice make it a paradise in one bite. Xiuxiu is the type of person who doesn't speak or sleep, and eats elegantly. He probably needs to eat for a few minutes, while Zhang Yuehe looks at the house while eating. The house is neither big nor small, thanks to its few people and cleanliness. The living room is decorated with jade bamboo, and there are several clear landscape paintings hanging on the walls. All of these indicate that the owner is a person with a sense of life. What Zhang Yuehe didn't expect was that Xiuxiu ate faster than her. Zhang Yuehe looked at the figure heading towards the kitchen, holding his own and her bowl in his hand, truly the male lead. Zhang Yuehe secretly gave Xiuxiu a thumbs up in his heart. Xiaozhi, try some cookies. Jiao couldn't help but smile as he looked at the child in front of him in a daze. He dares to bet that this younger brother is definitely cuter than Xiuxiu when he was a child. Thank you, brother. Zhang Yuehe immediately showed a sweet smile, and little Huya was so cute. Is there anything else? The cookies my cousin baked are really delicious. A cool voice echoed from behind. He looked up and exclaimed, Little Bear Biscuit, oh isn't it, Little Rabbit? Yes, Little Rabbit. Jiao withdrew his hand that he wanted to wipe the corner of Zhang Yuehe's mouth, turned around, and handed a piece of paper, his tone gentle. These are what I left at home, you can all eat. Xiuxiu picked up the biscuit and chewed it in his mouth. The rich flavor of the biscuit emanated from his mouth, crispy and sweet. Delicious. Xiuxiu added 2 more kukukchuan, wiped his fingers with a tissue, and heard Jiao call him. This is the spare key to the house. I won't be coming back at noon. Can you take Xiaozhi around and grab something to eat? You should have some change, right? Forget it. Jiao recalled Xiuxiu's mischievous behavior when he was a child, and couldn't help but worry more about him. So he took out a red banknote from his pocket and handed Xiuxiu 2. Save some money, there will be more tomorrow. Xiuxiu took 2 red banknotes and groped with his fingertips, feeling that there were many other meanings in his heart. He lost both his parents when he was young, and why didn't Jiao? Compared to his parents, Jiao and even his big cousin, Xiuxiu's family stands out among the crowd and is at the level of a millionaire, while Jiao and Feng's family are only barely considered middle-class. As he grew up, his childhood playmates gradually drifted away. Feng's hostility towards him made him disgusted, but he also felt at a loss. Fortunately, Jiao remained the same as before and would always take care of his big brother. Xiuxiu collected those 2 red banknotes without saying a word of refusal. I thought you would find it too rare, Jiao said with a relieved expression, reaching out to pat his shoulder. Indeed, it's missing. It doesn't fit my identity as the eldest young master of the He family. Unexpectedly, Xiuxiu kicked his nose and face, extended his palm, and was slapped back in the next second, neither light nor heavy. Save it a bit, I have to give the remaining money to my girlfriend. It's just the 200 yuan in your hand, which I finally saved up. Girlfriend. Xiuxiu looked surprised. He spends most of his time studying under a renowned teacher, and has never been to school a few times, so he has no contact with things like dating, whether it's himself or others. Yeah, I'll take you to meet her and just call her Zhou. Xiuxiu looked at Ji, only to find that she had a loveless expression on her face. Her charming and lovely second cousin. I met Xiuxiu, who had a delicate appearance, with sharp shoulder-length short hair that exuded a strong aura. She was wearing shorts and a midriff suit, appearing slender with long legs. She was standing next to the electric bike and waving to them. Chapter 9. Second cousin goes on a date. You are listening at novel full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text. Chapter 10. 2 Account 2 Revival Cards, formally effective 11 years later. You are listening at novel full.audio. De co lois ara trong quatrin lay text.